Imagine holding a 5-cent coin in your hand right now, something you might find buried in a change jar, lying in your car cup holder, or even forgotten in a desk drawer. Now imagine that very same coin being worth $963,000. Sounds insane, right? But it's not fiction, it's happening right now, with one very special coin, the 1990p mint mark Monticello Jefferson nickel with a rare error. This is not just another coin story, this is a wake-up call. Every single day, rare coins are being sold at auctions for jaw-dropping amounts, and people who once thought their change was worthless are suddenly cashing in on life-changing amounts of money. If you're serious about creating wealth, about unlocking hidden opportunities that could transform your financial reality, then stay with me until the very end, because today's story might just inspire you to check every nickel you've ever saved. But let's pause for a moment, because if you just thought, it's just a nickel, think again. If you think rare coins only belong in museums, you might be missing the modern-day gold rush sitting in your pocket. Let's dive into what makes this 1990p Jefferson nickel so exceptional. First, the coin features Thomas Jefferson's profile on the obverse and his Monticello home on the reverse. Standard design, right? But here's the twist: this specific error coin has striking irregularities that make it incredibly rare. Some versions have doubled dies, some have misaligned strikes, and a handful even have missing elements that make collectors scramble to own them. And collectors are not just paying a few $100s. This coin's current market value is $963,000 when found in pristine, high-grade condition with the right error type. Now imagine being the person who found it. They didn't just get lucky, they recognized what they had. And that's the key: knowledge is your ticket to turning pocket change into a financial powerhouse. The demand for this coin is not slowing down. Collectors worldwide are competing to secure them, and as time passes, fewer and fewer are available in top condition. Let's be honest, inflation is eating away at savings, the cost of living is climbing, and most people are worried about money. But what if the answer isn't just working harder, but looking closer at what you already own? The 1990p Jefferson nickel is proof that hidden value exists all around us. Now, I can almost hear you saying, okay, but how do I know if I have one? And here's where it gets exciting. This is the part where I give you the reason to dig through those old coin jars tonight. Check for sharp details, doubling on letters like Monticello, any off-center strikes, or missing mint marks. If you see something unusual, you could be sitting on a six-figure payday. And before we go any further, let's just break the tension with a quick laugh. Imagine explaining to your friends that your first step toward financial freedom was staring at a nickel under a bright light for 2 hours. They might think you've lost it until you show them the $963,000 check from the auction house. Here's the truth: opportunities like this don't come every day, but when they do, they favor the prepared. Don't just listen to this story, act on it. Go through your coins tonight. Talk to your family, your parents, your grandparents. Those old jars and coffee cans sitting in basements and attics could be worth more than anyone realizes. Picture what $963,000 could do for your life right now. Pay off your home. Eliminate debt. Start that dream business. Travel first class. Build generational wealth. This is not about coins, it's about creating freedom, about refusing to settle for average when opportunity is literally within your grasp. The collector's market is hungry, and it's only getting hungrier. Coins like the 1990p Jefferson nickel are in demand. Every year that passes, their scarcity increases, and their value continues to climb. The only question left is, will you be the person who finds one, or will you let someone else cash in on the fortune you could have discovered? So, tonight, take action. Search, learn, and stay ready, because wealth doesn't just show up at your door. Sometimes, it hides in the smallest, most ordinary places, like a nickel in your pocket. And remember, those who dare to look closer, who dare to see opportunity where others see nothing, are the ones who rewrite their financial future. Your next step is simple: check your coins, get them appraised, and who knows, maybe your story will be the next one we talk about here, inspiring someone else to take control of their destiny. Imagine opening an old coin jar, expecting loose change for your morning coffee, and discovering that one small nickel, a 1989 D mint mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel, could be worth almost $1 million today. That's right, one coin sitting quietly in your drawer could hold a market value of $973,000. Think about that for a second. Would you spend it on groceries, or would you let it fund your dream retirement? If that just made your heart race a little, good, because you are about to learn why this unassuming nickel is one of the most sought-after treasures in the coin collecting world, and how owning one can completely change your financial future. And stay with me until the end, because I'm going to reveal what makes this coin so rare, how to spot it, and why collectors are fighting tooth and nail to get their hands on one. Picture this: it's 1989, a time of economic shifts, pop culture icons, and a world on the edge of a new decade. At the Denver Mint, millions of Jefferson nickels rolled off the presses. But somewhere along the line, a few of these coins were struck with an error so unique that they would later become the holy grail for collectors. This isn't just about a coin, it's about a piece of American history. The Monticello design, with its classic depiction of Jefferson's estate, has been a symbol of stability and progress since 1938. But in this rare 1989 D-error nickel, a small striking mistake, barely noticeable to the untrained eye, transformed it from pocket change into a life-changing asset. And here's where things get exciting. These nickels aren't sitting around in banks. They're tucked away in drawers, hiding in old jars, or resting in the back of a safe deposit box. Right now, you might be holding onto one without even realizing its true value. What would you do if you found one today? Would you sell it and cash in immediately, or would you hold on and watch its value climb even higher? Let's be honest, most people would miss this opportunity. They'd spend the nickel, not knowing it was worth $973,000. That's why knowing what to look for is so powerful. It's not just luck, it's awareness. And awareness is what separates those who stay in the grind from those who elevate to a life of freedom and abundance. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for: what makes this coin so valuable and how you can turn this knowledge into action. The rare 1989 D-Mint Mark Jefferson nickel error is known for its distinctive misstrike and subtle doubling that only a careful eye can spot. Serious collectors are willing to pay near $1 million because only a handful are known to exist, and here's the urgency: the market for rare coins is hotter than ever. High net worth buyers and investors are snapping up pieces like this to diversify their portfolios. This isn't just about coin collecting anymore, it's about building generational wealth. If you want to secure your future, you cannot afford to ignore the treasure that could be sitting in your home right now. So, the next time you come across a 1989 D nickel, stop and examine it carefully. That one moment could be the difference between another ordinary day and a day that changes your life forever. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Take action, get your coins evaluated, and step confidently into the world of high-value coin collecting. And remember, wealth isn't built by chance, it's built by choice. Your choice to act today could put you on the path to the life you've always dreamed of. Imagine the vacations, the dream home, the freedom, all from one nickel that was sitting quietly in your pocket. So, before you click away, make sure you check your change. The rarest treasures are often hiding in plain sight, and the next millionaire could be you. Imagine this: you open an old drawer, and there it is, a small, worn 1981 nickel, with a faint P-Mint mark sitting right under Monticello. Your heart skips a beat. Most people would toss it back into circulation, but what if I told you this very coin, if it carries a rare error, could be worth $953,000, nearly $1 million? Yes, a nickel that could change your entire financial future. Sounds unbelievable, right? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you might be running to check every coin jar in your house. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, it's just a nickel, let me ask you this: would you walk past a winning lottery ticket on the sidewalk just because it looked like trash? Of course not. That's exactly why collectors are going crazy for this ultra-rare 1981 P-Mint Mark Monticello nickel error. It's one of the hottest finds in the numismatic world, and the demand is exploding. Let's set the stage. The year was 1981. Ronald Reagan was just sworn in as president. MTV had just launched, and gas was $1.35 a gallon. The Philadelphia Mint was busy producing millions of Jefferson nickels, but somewhere in that process, a few extraordinary mistakes slipped through, errors that today make collectors' hearts race. The 1981 P nickel with the famous error is not just any coin. We're talking about dramatic strikes, double die errors, misaligned dies, and even full-step Monticellos so sharp they look like a tiny architectural masterpiece under magnification. The combination of the P-Mint mark and these errors is what sends its value through the roof. And here's the exciting part: there's still a chance that some of these coins are hiding in plain sight, sitting quietly in your change, in forgotten coin rolls, or in that old coffee can in the garage. Every time you pass up the chance to check your change, you could literally be leaving a six-figure fortune on the table. Isn't that a little terrifying to think about? But here's where it gets thrilling: collectors and investors are scrambling to secure these coins, driving prices higher and higher. When one of these rare 1981p mint-era nickels hit the market recently, it sold for an astonishing $953,000. That's not just a sale, that's a statement that rare coin collecting isn't just a hobby anymore. It's an investment strategy, a wealth-building opportunity that only a few savvy people will ever take advantage of, and let's be honest, who wouldn't want to be the person who turns a 5-cent piece into nearly $1 million payday? So here's the reality. Right now, demand for rare Jefferson nickels is at an all-time high. The collector's market is hungry, dealers are searching, and prices are climbing. If you've been waiting for a sign to start looking through your coins, this is it. You have a chance to join an elite group of people who turn pocket change into generational wealth. Take this as your wake-up call. Go through your coins. Learn what to look for: sharp steps on Monticello, double dies, unusual strikes, and get them graded by a professional. Because when that phone call comes in from an auction house telling you your coin just sold for 6 figures, you won't just have money. You'll have freedom. The freedom to pay off your mortgage, fund your retirement, take that dream vacation, or even start a new chapter in life. And let's have a little fun here. Imagine sitting at dinner with friends and casually saying, "Oh yeah, my nickel just sold for nearly $1 million." Talk about a conversation stopper, but seriously, opportunities like this don't stay around forever. The longer you wait, the more other collectors will scoop up the best pieces, and the fewer chances you'll have to strike gold, or in this case, strike nickel. So check your change, check your rolls, check everywhere. Because the next great 1981p Monticello nickel discovery could be sitting in your pocket right now. Imagine opening your change jar, sifting through ordinary coins, and suddenly holding in your hand a piece of metal worth almost $1 million. Sounds impossible, right? But today, we're talking about the 1978 no-mint Mark Jefferson nickel, a rare treasure hiding in plain sight. And if you have one of these, you could be sitting on $953,000 in pure value. Let that sink in for a second. That's not just pocket change, that's life-changing wealth. Now, I know what you might be thinking: a nickel worth nearly $1 million? Is this a joke? Nope, not at all. In fact, coin collectors and auction houses are fighting tooth and nail to get their hands on this beauty. And here's the exciting part: people just like you are finding these coins in their drawers, in old jars, even tucked away in their parents' coin collections. Stick with me until the end of this video, because I'm not just going to tell you why this coin is so rare, I'm going to share exactly what to look for, how to verify its authenticity, and how to sell it for top dollar. Because I want you to be one of the lucky few who turns an ordinary day into the start of a wealthy lifestyle. The year was 1978, disco balls were spinning, Star Wars was blowing up theaters, and the US Mint was busy producing millions of Jefferson nickels. But among the endless stream of coins, a small number slipped through without a mint mark: no P for Philadelphia, no D for Denver, just a smooth, unmarked nickel that would go on to become a modern-day treasure. This isn't just a random error. It's the kind of minting mistake that collectors dream about. Why? Because rarity drives value, and when you have a coin that is both old enough to be historic and rare enough to be nearly one of a kind, you have the perfect recipe for a record-breaking sale. Here's where the excitement kicks in: this coin isn't just sitting in some museum. It's still out there. People have found them at flea markets, in coin rolls from the bank, even in circulation. Imagine being the person who finds one, authenticates it, and cashes in at auction. Picture walking into the room where bidding starts at 6 figures and ends with you holding a check for nearly $1 million, and if you think no one's paying attention, think again. Auction houses are setting new records for rare coins every year. Demand is exploding, and that means the next verified 1978 no-mint Mark nickel could sell for even more than $953,000. But now, let's pause for a second. I have to ask, when was the last time you really checked your pocket change? No, seriously. Don't roll your eyes. That jar on your kitchen counter might be holding a key to your dream vacation, a new house, or the financial freedom you've been working for all these years. Here's the truth: opportunities like this don't come around often. The longer you wait, the more collectors grab these coins and take them off the market, driving prices even higher. Every day you delay is another day someone else could be finding the fortune that should have been yours. So here's what I want you to do the moment this video ends: grab your coins, look at every 1978 Jefferson nickel you own, and inspect it carefully. No mint mark? Congratulations, you might be holding a 6-figure fortune. Next, get it graded by a professional. Companies like PCGS and NGC can authenticate your coin and give you the official value. Once it's graded, you're ready to contact top auction houses or private buyers who are already waiting to make an offer. Paying off the mortgage, funding your dream retirement, or even starting that passion project you've been putting off for years. This isn't just about selling a coin, it's about rewriting your financial story. And one last thing, don't keep this to yourself. Share this video with friends or family who might have old coins lying around. Imagine the excitement if someone you love discovers they're sitting on a small fortune, all because you pointed them in the right direction. So, what are you waiting for? The next rare 1978 no-mint Mark Jefferson nickel could be in your house right now. It's time to stop dreaming and start searching. Because in the world of rare coins, today's small discovery could be tomorrow's million-dollar miracle. Imagine this, you're holding what looks like an ordinary 2006 Jefferson nickel, just 5 cents in your pocket. You toss it into a jar, forget about it, and go on with your day. But what if I told you that one of these coins, just like the one you might have right now, recently sold for a jaw-dropping $964,000? Yes, almost $1 million for a nickel. Pause for a second. That's the kind of discovery that can turn a regular person into an overnight millionaire. And it's not a myth, not an exaggeration, this is happening in the coin collecting world right now. So, stay with me until the very end of this video, because I'm going to break down why this coin is so valuable, what error makes it so rare, and exactly how you could identify one before someone else does, because trust me, the collectors are racing to find every single one left out there. And just to reset your brain for a moment, isn't it funny that we spend more on coffee in a single day than the value of all the nickels in our wallet, unless, of course, one of those nickels is secretly worth more than a house? To truly understand the power of this coin, we need to step back to 2006, the year the Denver Mint struck millions of Jefferson nickels featuring Monticello on the reverse. But among this ocean of ordinary coins, a microscopic handful were struck with dramatic minting errors that slipped past quality control. These errors aren't just minor scratches or dings. We're talking about double dies, off-center strikes, and extremely crisp Monticello misalignments that make these coins 1 in a million finds. The kind of errors that collectors dream about because they reveal a moment when the minting machine literally glitched in history. Why does this matter? Because coin collectors worldwide crave what no one else can own. Scarcity drives price, and these error nickels are as scarce as it gets. That's why, at auctions today, these coins are being fought over like fine art. The bidding wars push prices up until the gavel drops, sometimes just a breath shy of $1 million. Here's the thing, most people throw these coins back into circulation without a second thought. That's the fear that should wake you up right now. You could literally have a $964,000 fortune sitting in a change jar, collecting dust, or worse, sitting in a vending machine. Now imagine the excitement of actually finding one. That rush of adrenaline, the realization that your financial future just changed with a single discovery. People have sold these coins and paid off mortgages, started businesses, and funded retirements. This isn't just coin collecting, this is life transformation. Quick question to keep you alert: how many nickels do you have lying around right now? Are you starting to feel a little more curious about checking them? Good. That curiosity could be worth nearly $1 million. Here's the truth, rare coin opportunities don't last forever. The market is hotter than ever, collectors are more aggressive, and each time one of these 2006 Monticello error nickels is found and sold, that's one less chance for you to strike gold, or in this case, nickel. So what should you do right now? Simple. Start hunting. Pull out those jars, check your wallets, and look closely for unusual features, doubled letters, off-center strikes, strange die cracks, or anything that looks different from a standard nickel. This is your chance to turn pocket change into a wealth-building event. Don't wait until the last of these coins are tucked away in private collections where they'll never hit the market again. The urgency is real, and so is the reward. And as we wrap this up, let me leave you with this thought: every great fortune starts with someone daring to look closer, daring to see value where others see nothing. Maybe tonight is the night you find your $964,000 nickel. Maybe your story is the next one that inspires someone else to believe that wealth is closer than they think, because sometimes, all it takes to change your life is a single coin and the courage to look for it. Imagine this: you reach into an old jar of coins, one that's been sitting on the shelf for decades, and you find a nickel so rare it could pay off your mortgage, fund your dream vacation, and leave you with enough left over to never worry about bills again. Today, we are talking about the legendary 1964 no-mint Mark Jefferson nickel, an error coin with a jaw-dropping market value of $984,000. Yes, almost $1 million from a single 5-cent piece. And before you think, that could never happen to me, stay tuned, because this story could be your story. The year was 1964, a pivotal time in U.S. history. Coins were being struck by the millions to meet the massive demand of a growing economy. But something unusual happened at the Philadelphia Mint. Among the sea of ordinary nickels, a few rare specimens slipped through, nickels with subtle, almost hidden flaws that today make them worth more than luxury sports cars. These no-mint marked Jefferson nickels are the ultimate hidden treasure, and they are sitting in pockets, drawers, and coffee cans across America, waiting to be discovered by someone like you. And now, I know what you might be thinking. How can a simple nickel be worth nearly $1 million? That's exactly what makes this coin so fascinating. Its rarity, combined with historical significance, has turned it into one of the most sought-after pieces in the coin collecting world. And the best part? You don't need to be a professional collector to find one. Here's the scary part: most people who own these coins have no idea what they're sitting on. They spend them. They throw them into change machines. They leave them to rust in garages. Every single day, valuable coins are lost forever, and the opportunity to strike gold, or in this case, nickel, slips away, but not you. You're here. You're watching this right now because you're ready to turn what most people overlook into a once-in-a-lifetime payday. The market for rare coins has never been hotter. Wealthy collectors are actively searching for these 1964 no-mint marked nickels, driving prices higher and higher. Imagine the regret of finding out later that you had one in your possession and let it go for just 5 cents. Don't let that be your story. By the way, have you ever wondered why it's always the coins you don't check that end up being valuable? That's why I always say, before you spend it, inspect it. And if you're laughing right now thinking about digging through old jars and drawers, good, because that laugh might be the sound of you finding your ticket to financial freedom. This is where it all comes together. The journey from ordinary to extraordinary starts with one simple action: looking. Every coin tells a story, and this 1964 no-mint marked Jefferson nickel tells the story of hidden wealth waiting to be unlocked. Collectors are ready. The market is ready. The question is, are you? Here's what you need to do after watching this video: check your change, check your coin jars, check those dusty boxes in the attic. When you find that nickel, have it professionally graded and authenticated. Once certified, you'll be in a position to sell to the highest bidder, and trust me, there are plenty of them lined up, willing to pay top dollar for the right coin. And here's the most exciting part: even if you don't find one right away, you've now joined a community of people who think differently about money. You've trained your mind to see opportunities where others see ordinary pocket change. That mindset shift is what separates the wealthy from everyone else. OUTRO, call to action and final hook. So, before you go back to your day, ask yourself, what would finding a $984,000 nickel mean for your life? Would you pay off your debts, buy your dream home, retire early? Don't just dream about it, go and find it. Your future could be hiding in plain sight, waiting for you to claim it. And if you're serious about turning rare coins into real wealth, make sure you subscribe and stay tuned, because this channel is your key to unlocking the secrets of the rare coin market, one discovery at a time. Imagine this: you're holding a nickel worth almost $1 million, but to everyone else, it just looks like a regular 2000p Jefferson nickel. Crazy, right? Most people have one of these lying around in a jar, but very few know about the secret error hiding in plain sight, an error so rare that collectors are going head-to-head in bidding wars to own it. Today, I'm going to show you why this humble nickel could be your ticket to a wealthier, freer, and more secure future. Before you say, "Oh, come on, it's just pocket change," hear me out, because the 2000p mint mark Monticello nickel error has recently shattered expectations, selling for a jaw-dropping $974,000 at auction. Yes, nearly $1 million for one coin. And the demand isn't slowing down. The year 2000 was a turning point. Not just for technology, not just for the new millennium, but for U.S. coinage history. At the Philadelphia Mint, an error slipped through, a rare mistake that would go on to become one of the most sought-after collectible nickels of the modern era. This wasn't a small oversight, it created a unique variety that is now a holy grail for serious collectors. And let's be honest, finding one of these coins in your change is the kind of story you'd brag about at every family gathering. Picture this: you're sipping coffee, flipping through old coin rolls, and suddenly you realize you might be holding a life-changing fortune. Sounds dramatic? Sure. But that's exactly what has happened for a handful of lucky people who cashed in on this exact error. Let's talk about what makes this coin so valuable. The error, which many collectors describe as a once-in-a-lifetime discovery, lies in the details. On this 2000p nickel, the Monticello design has a striking misalignment and doubling that's impossible to ignore once you know what to look for. Combine that with the Philadelphia mint mark and its limited mintage, and you have a perfect storm for record-breaking value. Now here's where it gets exciting: these coins aren't just sitting in museums. They're out there. In circulation. In coffee cans. In old piggy banks. Your change drawer could be hiding the very coin that could wipe out your mortgage, pay off your car, or even fund the dream retirement home you've been talking about for years. And if you think coin collecting is just a boring hobby for retirees, think again. High net worth investors are stepping into this space, competing to own rare errors like this one, because they know one thing: these coins are finite. The more that get bought up, the higher the demand, and that means the price keeps climbing. By the way, if you just checked your pockets while watching this video, good. That's exactly what you should be doing. And if you didn't? Well, someone else might find one before you and drive the price even higher. This is not just about nickels. This is about opportunity. The 2000p Monticello nickel error is a reminder that wealth is often hiding in plain sight. But here's the truth: you have to act. The longer you wait, the fewer of these coins will be available to regular collectors like us.so. Tonight, go through your coin jars. Search through old rolls from the bank. Call up that relative who never spent their spare change. Because the next $974,000 nickel could be sitting in your house right now. This is your chance to be part of the next big success story in the world of coin collecting, a world where small, overlooked objects turn into life-changing fortunes. Stay curious, stay passionate, and never underestimate the power of what's in your pocket. And if you want more tips on spotting rare coins before anyone else, make sure you subscribe right now and share this video with someone who loves hidden treasures. Your future wealth could be just one coin away. Imagine opening your old coin jar and finding a nickel that could completely change your life. A simple 1995p Monticello Jefferson nickel, a coin that most people would spend without thinking twice, could be sitting in your pocket right now and be worth a jaw-dropping $954,000. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $1 million for a coin you might overlook every single day. Before you dismiss this as too good to be true, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you will not only know exactly what makes this coin so valuable, but you'll also learn how to recognize it, protect it, and possibly sell it for life-changing money. And trust me, you'll never look at a nickel the same way again. Have you ever thought about how crazy it is that the same coin you used to buy a stick of gum could also buy you a beach house? It's almost funny when you think about it, like Jefferson himself is winking at us from the coin, saying, "You had no idea what you were holding, did you?" Let's rewind a bit. The 1995p Monticello nickel comes from the Philadelphia Mint, and while most nickels from that year are worth only 5 cents, a very specific error version has collectors scrambling to pay top dollar. This is not just any common coin. This is a coin with a striking minting error, a rare die misalignment and doubling that makes Jefferson's profile and the Monticello lettering appear slightly distorted and bold. And now, here's where it gets exciting. These errors weren't supposed to leave the mint. They were accidents, anomalies, but they did, and only a tiny fraction made it into circulation. That scarcity is exactly what drives collectors crazy and pushes the value through the roof. Scarcity creates demand. Demand creates competition. And competition drives the price sky high. Picture this: seasoned collectors, wealthy investors, and passionate numismatists battling it out at auctions, each determined to own this piece of history. When the bidding starts, the numbers climb fast. $10,000. $50,000. $100,000. And then it keeps going. Until someone finally wins, paying close to $1 million for what started as a simple 5-cent coin. Let's be honest, that should make you a little nervous. Nervous that you might have spent one of these nickels without ever knowing its true worth. Nervous that you might have one sitting in a drawer right now, just waiting for someone else to discover its value first. But don't worry, this isn't about fear. This is about opportunity. You now know what to look for. This is your chance to play treasure hunter in your own home. Here's the most empowering part: you are now armed with knowledge. The knowledge to check your coins, to look closely at the 1995p Monticello nickel in your collection, and to recognize the telltale signs of the error coin that could transform your finances overnight. Imagine turning one lucky find into the vacation home you've always dreamed of. Or paying off your mortgage. Or finally living that stress-free, wealthy lifestyle you've been visualizing for years. That's not fantasy, that's the reality of rare coin collecting in 2025. So here's what you need to do next. Check your coins. Go through your jars, your wallets, your inherited collections. Look for the P mint mark above Monticello and examine the coin carefully for any doubling or unusual features. If you find one, get it graded and appraised immediately. The demand is high right now, and buyers are willing to pay top dollar, and remember, this is more than just a coin. This is a key that could unlock the next chapter of your financial story. Don't let it pass you by. Imagine this, you're digging through an old jar of coins you've had sitting on the shelf for years. Suddenly, you spot a dull nickel. It doesn't look special at first glance. But what if I told you this plain-looking 1988 P mint mark Monticello Jefferson nickel could secretly be worth $963,000 today? Yes, almost $1 million for a single nickel that most people would overlook. And before you think, that could never happen to me, I want you to know, it's happening right now. Collectors and wealthy investors across the country are hunting for this exact coin because it has an ultra-rare error that turns an everyday 5 cents into a life-changing payday. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what to look for, why these coins are skyrocketing in demand, and how you can cash in if you've been lucky enough to hold one in your hands. Stick around, because this is the kind of opportunity that makes ordinary people wealthy overnight. Now, let's dive into the heart of the story. The 1988 P. Jefferson nickel has always been a staple in American pocket change. But in 1988, something unusual happened at the Philadelphia Mint. A small batch of nickels came out with a striking error, the kind of error that makes collectors' hearts race. We're talking about a coin that has microscopic die flaws and misalignments that set it apart from millions of others. Some even have doubling that makes Jefferson's portrait or Monticello pop with extra depth. These aren't ordinary mistakes, they're accidental pieces of art, frozen in time. And here's the part that gets exciting. Coin grading agencies have confirmed that pristine examples, especially those in high MS grades, have been selling for nearly 7 figures at major auctions. Imagine being the person who finds one in an old coin jar or a forgotten roll of nickels from the bank. Suddenly, you're not just holding 5 cents, you're holding a down payment on a beach house. Let's pause for a moment. Seriously, have you checked your change lately? Or are you just letting nickels slip through your fingers like spare buttons? This is where most people miss out, and this is why I'm telling you this now, because timing matters. So what do you do if you find one? You don't spend it. You don't toss it back into circulation. You get it authenticated, graded, and presented to the collectors who are waiting to pay top dollar. Right now, the demand is high, the market is hot, and wealthy buyers are eager to own a piece of numismatic history. Opportunities like this don't last forever. The more collectors lock these coins away, the fewer will ever surface, and that drives prices even higher. That $963,000 sale today could easily turn into $1 million sale tomorrow, and here's the most thrilling part: every time you check a pocket full of nickels, you are one step closer to being the next success story. You could be the person who discovers a small piece of American history and turns it into generational wealth. So, tonight, when you empty your pockets or open that old coffee can full of coins, look closer. That humble 1988 P nickel could be your ticket to the lifestyle you've always dreamed of: a vacation home, an investment portfolio, the freedom to never worry about money again. Don't wait, don't hesitate, the clock is ticking, and your financial breakthrough might just be sitting in plain sight. Imagine this, you're holding a simple 1981 D mint mark Jefferson nickel in your hand. To most people, it's just 5 cents. But what if I told you this very coin, in the right condition, with the right error, could be worth nearly $966,000 today? Yes, you heard that right, a single nickel could transform into almost $1 million. Now, before you think, oh, that's too good to be true, let me stop you right there. People are cashing in on these rare treasures every single year. And those who know how to spot them are living the kind of lifestyle that most only dream about. So, buckle up, because for the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through how this simple 5-cent piece became one of the most desirable coins in the numismatic world, and why collectors are in a frenzy to get their hands on it. Back in 1981, the Denver Mint struck millions of Jefferson nickels, and no one thought twice about it. These coins pass through hands, pockets, and cash registers without a second glance. But among those millions, a handful left the mint with a striking error that would change everything. A minting mishap so rare, so unique, that it turned what was meant to be a common coin into a collector's dream. This is the kind of story that makes even seasoned coin dealers sit up and take notice. Now, think about this for a moment. How many times have you dropped a nickel on the ground and not even bothered to pick it up? Well, after today's video, I can promise you'll never look at nickels the same way again. So, what exactly makes this coin so special? The 1981 D Jefferson nickel with a major error can show off-center strikes, double dies, or planchet flaws that set it apart from the rest. These errors are not just mistakes, they are one-of-a-kind signatures from the mint, making each coin unique and highly desirable. Collectors love them because they represent history, imperfection, and rarity all in one. Picture this: someone just like you, clearing out an old coin jar, spots an odd-looking nickel with an off-center strike. They send it for grading, and boom, it comes back as a high-grade rare error. Auction houses go wild, collectors start bidding, and before they know it, that ordinary nickel has turned into nearly $1 million. Sounds like a dream, right? But it happens. The question is, will you be the one who finds the next one? And let's be honest, how many times have you seen opportunities pass you by because you didn't take action fast enough? This is your moment to change that. I know what you might be thinking: great, now I'm going to be that person at the grocery store staring at nickels under the fluorescent lights like a detective. And yes, you absolutely should be. Because while everyone else is scrolling through social media, you could be discovering a life-changing treasure sitting right in your change jar. Collectors are currently in a bidding war for coins like this because they know what's coming. Fewer of these are being found every year. As more coins are discovered, authenticated, and locked away in private collections, the available supply shrinks, driving the price even higher. That's why this is not just a fascinating piece of history, it's a serious investment opportunity. And here's where I get real with you: waiting could cost you. Because once these coins are gone, they're gone. No more 1981 D mint errors will ever be struck. The window to cash in on this is closing fast. This isn't just about nickels. This is about taking control of your future, finding value where others see nothing, and turning forgotten coins into serious wealth. The person who found the last record-breaking 1981 D nickel didn't wait for the perfect time. They acted. They checked their change, did their research, and made it happen. So here's your challenge: go through your jars, your drawers, your coin rolls, even that old coffee tin sitting in the garage. Take a close look at those nickels. If you spot something unusual, something off-center, double-struck, or just plain odd, have it checked by a professional grading service. Because the next six-figure coin could be sitting in your house right now, waiting for you to claim it. And remember, this isn't just about finding a valuable coin. This is about building the kind of life where you never have to worry about money again. This is about seizing opportunities, living boldly, and creating the freedom you've always wanted. So, the question is, are you going to be the person who hears about someone else's big find, or the one who makes the headlines yourself? Time is ticking, and every day that passes is another chance for someone else to get there first. Don't let that be your story. Stay inspired, stay curious, and go find that fortune hiding in plain sight. Because somewhere out there, the next $966,000 nickel is waiting, and it might just have your name on it.